Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Micronesia Weekly Broadcast. Today is February 14, 2019, Thursday. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get this started. And in our first story, but before that, I would like to say Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovebirds out there, or single people out there. Remember, this is your day to remember your significant other, which can be your wife, your girlfriend, your pet dog, your pet cat, or if you're single, just, stay that way. But anyways, and boy, do we have a lot of things to go over, so let's get this started. And in our first story, Micronesian official number 1 from the Lyon's bribery scandal has been named. Master Halbert is in U.S. federal custody and appeared before Honolulu Federal Judge Richard L. Puglisi for arraignment on Monday, February 11, 2019, which is just very recently. For all you people who don't know that much legal terms, what is arraignment? Well, it's a formal reading of a criminal charging document in the presence of the defendant. And the defendant is expected to enter a plea, which includes guilty, non-guilty, and peremptory, which means not open to appeal or challenge. So Halbert is being charged with being Micronesian official number 1 after the January 16 indictment and January 22 guilty plea that was detailed of Frank J. Lyons. Halbert is being accused of many things like accepting cash, a pickup truck, a trip to Las Vegas, and funding a relative's tuition to UH Manoa. These happened from 2006 till 2016, and it was to secure a $7.8 million contract to renovate an airport here in the FSM. So, Halbert and other conspirators communicated with one another throughout this period, detailing the deals made by them. For a full view of what just happened, if you want to know all the dirty little details, click in the link in the description box to go to the article that we're talking about. What do you think? Corruption amongst our officials is common, and we the people must take steps to call it out when we see it. I mean, after all, we're the ones who elected them into office. But what is even more interesting is how Master Halbert even got to Hawaii in the first place. So the FBI, the agency in charge of the investigation, actually has no jurisdiction in apprehending foreign officials in their own country. Did our Department of Justice conduct him there, or did he go there on his own free will? And if he actually did go there in his own free will, why would he do it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This comes from a well-respected lawyer / legal expert. The FSM Society does not want a scarlet letter punishment here. This is not an exercise to name names, just to shame him or her, and for that shame to be used as punishment for wrongdoing. We're discussing this because we all want to stop corruption. Man is still innocent until proven guilty on the charges brought by the U.S. government in the District Court of Hawaii. You cannot call him corrupt until he is guilty of all corruption charges. Don't you think so? Isn't that how the legal processes work? Innocent until proven guilty? Let the man have a chance to defend himself and explain himself if he is guilty. Over on the island of Guam, newly appointed Governor Lyon Guerrero, which is the first lady governor of Guam, is thinking about having FAS countries. FAS countries meaning freely associated states, which include Federated States of Micronesia, Republic of Marshall Islands, and Palau. She wants them to help cover the costs of providing care for their citizens at Guam Memorial Hospital. The governor met with staff from the Guam Memorial Hospital and found that there is a backlog of around $30 million in unpaid services. Meeting with some of her staff, she thought one good idea to help would be for the health facilities on Guam, for the Guam Memorial Hospital on Guam, to recognize the medical and health insurances that FAS countries provide for their citizens. GMH could then file claims for the care the hospital provides to the regional migrants from their respective nations who have no insurance. Sounds really nice. And just like I said, it sounds really nice, but we have to ask ourselves, whatever happened to the Compact Impact funding? Just last year, Guam received $14 million in Compact Impact funding. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And here is a story that will probably tug on your heartstrings or not, maybe because you're heartless. Recently, students from PICS on the island of Pohnpei Island Central High School, had the opportunity to meet President Christian and Vice President Yoswo George. Despite being high schoolers, they had many questions about 2023. Every year, Pohnpei Public High Schools have what they call Career Exploration Week. And President Christian met with the first group and was bombarded with multiple questions about 2023. We'll survive, was what he said. For those of you who don't know, if you're in Micronesia, you should know this anyway. 2023 is a reference to the ending of the financial aspect of the compact, not the total termination of the compact. Mr. Christian said that we have enough to sustain us. By the way, we have 2 trust funds. Some economic assistance will still be given, primarily for health and education. Oh my, imagine my shock when I heard that. External assistance from the World Bank and Asian Development Bank and other countries like Japan, China, etc. Did you know the Chinese will be working on the roads in Matilineum and Kamara Bridge? And the Japanese are working on extending the airport here in Pohnpei. Way to go for diplomacy. So President Christian further went on to say that there will be a cut of excess services, but the essential services will still remain, so people don't freak out if, there's some sort of incident occurring in your house and you think the police won't show up. They will definitely show up because they're still getting paid. It's totally essential that the protection and safety of the public, is still paramount, even if there's some sort of doomsday scenario that people all believe in. What was this all about? It's all about ownership, responsibility, and integrity. Just like what Vice President George said, we must work together. FSM is beautiful, not just for its oceans, lakes, jungles, its natural beauty, but its people are what make up the FSM. What do you think? We're independent, and maybe it's time we take a more proactive and responsible approach to our well-being and to our future. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And now here are the announcements. For all you bright, intellectual, woke people out there, especially you young college students, this is an announcement that you'll want to hear. The Australian scholarships are now available to students from the FAS countries. FAS meaning RMI, FSM, and Palau. And if you're interested, log in to fsm.embassy.gov.au and turn in your application before April 30. And the Palau Senate is hopeful that the Palau National Marine Sanctuary Act, PNMS, will be delayed due to the hopeful support from the House of Delegates. Delayment of the PNMS Act will allow them to make sure better fisheries management will be put into place. Although President Remengesau will not be likely to support it, the Senate hopes that House of Delegates and public appeal will help sway the vote. Here's one that I like. The Palau Senate is currently drafting a bill that aims to penalize the reckless promotion of pornography. As a response to viral videos involving Palauans doing the nasty, it will amend the current law 17 PNC 4904 that prohibits commercial pornography. And the longline yellowfin and big-eyed tuna fishery in the FSM and its exclusive economic zone, which is actually operated by 3 Chinese companies, has been determined sustainable according to the Marine Stewardship Council fisheries standards. Well, isn't that amazing? Our fisheries are sustainable, and they're operated by Chinese. All win-win. Now here is my sister with the weather report.
Hey guys, this is Alana and I'm giving you the weather report for tomorrow. 27 degrees Celsius high during the day and 24 degrees Celsius low during the night. Partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and 20% chance of precipitation and 78% of humidity. Sunrise will be at 6:43 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:38 p.m. Northeast winds 15 to 20 knots and seas will be 8 to 10 feet high. Drier than normal weather will continue across much of Micronesia, including the Marshalls, Mariana Islands, and western parts of Chuuk. Thanks for tuning into the Micronesia News broadcast. Don't forget to tune in every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for more updates. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please